You know, life's not about longevity, it's about quality. I know you might think because I've got stage 4 cancer that I choose to believe that all of a sudden. Not true. I've thought that for a very long time, actually. Now, it's not about quantity, but quality of time. This is my monthly chemo report, but I'm not sure if I can call this a chemo report anymore. At least not for a while. I'll tell you why in a second. Maybe you can think up another name for me, whether you're listening to this on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. Oh, sorry, I mean X. Anyway, write a potential name for this report. We can't call it a chemo report anymore, but write a potential name for this report in the comments section below, whatever medium you're listening to. Now, I went to see the oncologist on Friday, February 2nd. They advised me to stay on chemo. Because the cancer has not got worse or better, it's just stayed the same. But that's actually good news. It did get better about 2 months ago than it was 6 months ago when I was first diagnosed. So anyway, they told me, stay on the chemo. And I said, okay, no problem. But then on the following Wednesday, I went to the nurses to get the chemo and they said, nah, instructed not to give you chemo, just Herceptin. Now, this is a targeted therapy, immunotherapy, to target the cancerous cells. 12 sessions over 6 months, and now I'm not getting chemo anymore. The thing about chemo is, well, it made me very super aware, connected with everything. My attention span was never better, and still is the same. It's super. I've been so pedantic on chemo, and still I am. But now that I'm off it, well, I'm gone off it, just gone off it, will I lose these Superman side effects? No one else gets them from chemo. I don't know why it's just me. I've surfed the net, I've asked other people who are on chemo. They don't get this kind of weird side effects that are so positive. Anyway, my appetite has improved, which is great. You lose your appetite on chemo, and it's really dangerous to lose weight when you've got cancer. Excuse me, my throat, frog in it. When you have cancer, it's very dangerous to lose weight. In fact, it's a death knell, really. Anyway, I've been shoving food down my throat even when I wanted to vomit. I still feel nauseous after I eat, just for about 10 minutes, but at least I'm eating better. I have a radio show called Bondi Tunes International, which airs on several stations in Europe and North America. It's a chat show. I interviewed for 1 hour this guy who lives in Sydney who also has stage 4 cancer, but he's a lot sicker than me. The interview was a very real insight for me into what happens when you get cancer, especially stage 4 cancer. He had it for, 2.5 years or so, despite being told he only had 3 months to live when he was diagnosed. I'd just like to play you a little clip of that interview I did with him. Take a listen. Do you feel positive, though, in yourself, and does it matter? I mean, my concern is other people if I die, not me. I understand, I believe in reincarnation, I'm all across that,
100% behind you on that one, Henry. It's, when I'm dead, I'm dead. I won't remember it, and even if I do, I won't be here to talk about it. What happens, whether I go to heaven or hell, or, well, if I go to hell, it'll be a dance party with all my mates. But
indeed,
the bottom line is, I don't know whether I'm reborn and reincarnated, what happens afterwards, but I do know that I probably won't remember it. So the only life I have to live is the one I've got, and that every day is a blessing. I take it as I can, and I'm not the one that's going to be left behind with the grief and
exactly.
The upset. It's the people around me that it concerns me about. One thing, euthanasia is now legal in New South Wales.
That's an important point, yes.
If I got to a really terrible place where I could no longer wash myself or clean myself or get to a bathroom or do the things that are important to me, then that's an option for me. And there again, obviously there's a lot of religious belief around it, and some people won't agree with that conversation. But I think as long as you do the right thing with the right intentions for the right reasons, then that's the best thing you can do. I don't have any. It's not that I want to check out tomorrow or that I want to commit suicide because I've had enough of life and I'm over it.
No.
I'm really thankful for everything I've got. But if it ends tomorrow, well, it ends tomorrow, because there's two things that are guaranteed in this life. You come into it and you go out of it.
Now, I wrote about death a lot in poems and poetry when I was in my late 20s. We're talking over 30 years ago. But always in a positive way. I now think I was kind of prepping myself to get this cancer seriously. I think I was prepping myself 30 years ago. You see, I've gone all spiritual on you now. Actually, you know what? I had a dream about a year ago before I was diagnosed with cancer, and it was two people who had recently died, people I know. One was 82, a colleague of mine. We were both newsreaders on radio back in the 80s. He died. And another very good friend of mine who also died about 4 years ago. He was only 38 years old. Very sad. Anyway, this dream I had was very strange. I was walking with these guys, Bob on my left, he's the older one, and Lachlan, the younger one, on my right. We were just walking. I didn't even see a street. We were just walking. It was like they were leading me somewhere. Then I woke up. Well, before I had cancer, I had that dream. My name is Henry, and I have cancer. Did I say that with too much pride, darling? What the hell? Let's have a glass of wine.